Hey, it is Paul. It is the Podcast Report, and it has been too long, my friends. So much has been happening in the world of AI, in the world of podcasting on YouTube. Got to see a bunch of you at Podcast Movement, but yeah, it's time to catch up, and I want to share something really exciting with you. If you have been on the iOS update world, you'll know that there's a really cool feature in Notes where you can give an audio, put it right in Notes. You can add the audio, you can drag in the audio, you can do whatever you can do. And the new Apple Intelligence feature actually transcribes that. So you put your audio into Notes, bam, you got your transcript. It's done. It's part of the process. Now, what's interesting was I was talking to another podcaster about AI and how it's going to change things. And what was funny was he said, yeah, now remember, step one, record in Notes. Step two, get your transcript. And I said, yeah, it does. It goes, nah, I load up Otter and then I record everything in Otter and then I tell Otter to transcribe it and then I cut and paste the copy and I put it back into Notes. This guy takes a bunch of additional steps in utilizing AI. And I think a bunch of us are doing that. I want to chat about that. I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised at the steps he thinks he has to take. I'm not surprised at these extra cycles he's added to the podcast production process because of podcasting. And this is the way so many of us are handling podcasting and AI. We're using AI, we're leveraging AI, honestly, to add steps, not take them away. And what's really important is the true power of AI is not in what it doesn't do for us. It's in what it does for us, but how it eliminates elements of the production stack, how it makes things easier to do, not new things we have to do because we've got AI thinking about it. As a sidebar, I'm a big sci-fi nerd. I think that's a requirement for podcasters. As a big sci-fi nerd, if you pay attention to most sci-fi about AI, and there's a lot of it, and the AI takes over and all that terrible robotic stuff, it all really, if you come down to it, comes to the point where the humans start doing the things that the computer should be doing. There really should be a line between what the computers do and what the AI does. And so I thought I'd go meta in today's episode, and I thought I'd show you a tool that we have developed, a framework for leveraging AI inside of podcasting that I think could be really, really powerful. And so what I want to do is I want to show you something we're using internally here at the partnership. So this is a tool called the Future-Proofed AI Bypass Machine. And the idea of the Future-Proofed AI Bypass Machine is we, bypass things with AI, but we do it in a future-proofed way. We do it in a way that not going to have to change when things happen. Right now, only a certain batch of the Apple phones, let us use the Apple Intelligence features. Only certain technologies have this and whatnot. What we want is we want a process where we can set this once and then use AI to future-proof it, but bypass the work that has to be done. So I thought I'd use an example here. First thing you do in this process is what are you trying to get done? What is the familiar output? And for a podcast, obviously a familiar output is you got to record the video. And yes, in the days of YouTube and podcasting, you now got to make video part of the process. Then you got to clean the audio. And you got to clean the audio for both the video and the audio versions. This because we do need to release both. Then you got to transcribe the episode because show notes and whatnot happen from transcripts and all those things are there. Then you got to write the show notes from the transcript, and you got to write titles based on what people are going to want, do a little bit of research, what are the keywords, that type of thing. Then you have to write the YouTube timestamps. If you're not doing timestamps on YouTube, that's an absolutely ridiculous waste of time. Don't find yourself in a place there. Then I got to publish the audio podcast on Libsyn, and I have to publish the video podcast on YouTube. These are all the things that need to be done. Now, if AI is so cool, wouldn't it be in a situation where AI does that for us? Well, it does. So in this tool, you work out the familiar output. This is what we need. This is the output that we know. We're going to be having this output for a long time. Audio podcasting is not going anywhere. YouTube podcasting is not going anywhere. That familiar output we want. But when it comes down to it, really what should happen is one should record the video and then one should click a button. And by the way, that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm recording this video on Ecamm Live. I'm using, just straight to the desktop. And, I got this little button to go back and forth where I can show you the PDF and not show you the PDF. But this is a one-cut situation. Not all podcasters can do this. But really, all I want to do is I want to record the video, and then I want to click a button. And in this particular case, that's what I'm going to do. When I'm done, I'm going to take the video created by Ecamm. I'm going to click an iOS or actually a Mac share feature that's going to do all of these things for me. What it's going to do, it's going to send the audio to something that's going to clean it up. And it's going to put that clean audio back in the video. I think right now, as of today, if I'm not mistaken, we're using a phonic, but really, I honestly don't know. We might have changed that internally. The tech side of the group might have done something differently. Then we're going to take that audio and it's going to be transcribed. And the transcription is going to be a tool that recognizes multiple voices. At this point, I did talk about the Apple Notes. Apple Notes will only recognize one voice. As we go back and forth, as we have last interviews, last episode was an interview with Dave Jackson. You got to have a transcript that recognizes multiple voices and writing the notes. Then we're going to get AI to write the notes and the YouTube timestamps and the titles, actually. I didn't even put that in there. Then we're going to have somebody that should send the video to YouTube for the publishing, mark it as a podcast episode inside of YouTube, and then send the audio to Libsyn to be published. And AI is going to do all that. This is the stuff that's going to be bypassed. And again, the tech that's used to bypass that might change over time, but in my production style and what I'm doing here, I just record this video, I click the share link, and then all of this stuff is done. It doesn't need to be that complicated. And then what we call that internally, we call that our audio podcasting publishing machine, APPM. And it's just a tool that we use. But now when we quickly want to reduce a podcast, when we want to produce a podcast, that's what we do. Now you'll notice we called it Spit'em, SPITM. Spit'em actually comes from Dan Sullivan, strategic coach. If you don't know Dan, he has 11 podcasts. Thank you, Dan, for being you. And one of the things that Dan says in the world of technology, that what you want to do is you want to have a smart person between you and the technology. And that's the whole point of this. Not all of us as podcasters are smart enough to write I don't even smart enough is the right word. Don't need to be spending our time writing the technology to make all this stuff happen. What we need a smart person in the middle. As of today, smart person, in the middle for us is a guy named Alex. Hi, Alex. Thank you for doing this, man. And once that smart person in the middle happens, he designs it, he's got it built, and then we have the podcasting machine. So yes, I'm recording this episode. I'm going to click stop. I'm going to click share, and then it's going to be done. And all the things listed on this list are going to happen, and they're going to happen without my interaction because AI is bypassing. Now, one day we might get a better audio cleaning device. That'll be fixed on the Spit'em side of things. I still will simply record the video, and I will click the button to share it. We might get a better notes situation. We're actually doing some experimenting right now with getting hashtags written, reflecting what's in the content, as well as what other people are looking. That'll all be put into the machine, but I don't need to do anything different. This is a tool, this is a framework, and I really recommend you think about that. What do you want? What do you want the computer to do? That's the familiar output. What's the least amount of stuff that you can do to get it to there? That's the familiar input. Then what would have to happen? What would have to be bypassed? That's all the stuff I list in that category. And then what technology can you build in the middle to do that? Because if you're the Spit'em, that's how the computers win. That's how AI happens. So this is our tool. We don't have to use it. Use the mentality, use the concept to get AI to do some of the bypassing for you, because it's really, really powerful stuff. If you're a client of ours, let me know, reach out. I'll get you a copy of this file. And if you want to, spend some time on Zoom or whatnot, talking about how we could utilize this for you, we can definitely do that. If you're not a client, there's the tool right there. You can, take a screenshot or whatnot and build your own, and we'll go from there. But man, don't be in the situation where you're doing the work at the computer. Let the computer do the work for you. Think about what can be bypassed. Definitely future-proof it, and your podcast will be in a much better place. Thanks for listening to the Podcast Report. This is Paul Colligan. I'll chat with you soon. Bye now.